good evening, TFC. I hope everybody is doing well tonight and that the delay isn't too far off. You'll have to forgive me. I woke up this morning with a little bit of a sore throat, so I'm sounding a little bit scratchy, y'all. I apologize. Hopefully, you can hear me and understand me okay. Hey, cousin. So it is already, it's 7 o'clock, but it's midnight outside that time of year. So I have settled in with my tea for the evening and to soothe my throat a little bit as well. This time of year for me is definitely tea season. I love tea in general. I drink coffee too, but once we hit like fall, winter, that is tea season for me. And I drink like several cups a day. So, anyway, so I am on for I just need a minute tonight. And it is really true that I just need a minute because I have been having some conversations with myself. And the word that I want to bring to y'all tonight is justification. So, here around TFC, we love nuance, right? We are firm believers in accepting, acknowledging, and processing through the nuances that exist in life because nothing is black and white. So I've been thinking a lot about this word justification because I thought about how much like anything, it can be have a negative connotation, have a positive connotation. You know, in the positive sense, we want to be able to justify, right? We want to have evidence, we want to have reason and circumstance to, do what we're doing or to explain why the world is the way that it is, or, however deep or shallow you want to go with that. But justification for me lately has been on the other side of that. I have in conversations with my kids, or friends or whatever, in a circumstance where they're trying to explain themselves, they're trying to give reasons, but really what they're doing is giving excuses. And so I oftentimes will say, you're justifying. And I don't mean that in the positive sense, like, yeah, you're justified. That's a great reason. But people who know me know that I'm saying, okay, you're just kind of BSing here. Like, say what you mean. And and so that's where I find myself lately in these conversations with myself, because there are, whether it's things that I should be doing, things that I'm neglecting, routines that I'm, falling out of, whatever it is, I find myself in a space where I'm justifying. So I'm having that conversation with myself where I'm going, okay, Ariana, you're justifying. To give kind of a simple example, to not be so vague, my morning routine. Back in 2020, when we all got sent home, one of the benefits out of that for me was that I could get up at the same time in the morning, but have time to do all these wonderful things like, stretch or do yoga, meditation, prayer, all these healthy things that, folks tell us to fit into our day. And I got a really good habit. It was great. My days went smoother. All the benefits were there. And then when I had to start going back to work, you kind of struggled to maintain that routine, did the best that I could. And fast forward to today, I'm like, okay, I really don't have any excuses as to why I can't get back into this routine, this morning routine. But I've been struggling, like I've been really, really struggling. And I find myself, well, yesterday XYZ happened. Last night I didn't get great sleep, whatever it is. Hey, Mama Tony. And I realize that I've got a lot of excuses. Now, nuance though, right? Because some of these things are true. Sleep is important. I really can't get up any earlier in the morning at this stage. Mornings are difficult for me. So going to bed at a decent time is important because I need sleep. Like, I'm an 8-hour girl, y'all. So it is difficult. However, that's not like this major barrier. I could do things to improve my sleep, to make sure I'm getting to bed on time, all of the things. So even nuance in the excuses. But what I know is, if I don't stay organized, if I don't stay into a routine, then I'm going to struggle. And then I'm going to beat myself up about the fact that I'm kind of misstepping on things. And these internal conversations that I've been having with myself about my justification have also been a struggle, because I know that at this stage of my life, I am processing and not processing through quite a bit. And so I know that one of the ways that helps me to move through that is to connect to the divine, connect to source. I know that. Like, I know that is the answer, right? That is the answer. And getting quiet with God, like, I shouldn't have excuses for why I can't do that. That really should be the most important thing. Because when I'm all up here, the only way for me to center, right? For all of us to center, like, we have to stop and listen. And meditation is, one of the ways it's easy for me to do that. Not so much prayer, but meditation for me, where I'm really having to, because y'all, I can talk. I can talk and not hear a word, right? In a conversation. I have all the words. So meditation is important for me. I prefer that over prayer if I'm trying to get into connection with divine, because that's the space where I'm not talking, where I'm listening, where I'm just trying to be still. And that's a really difficult thing to do, is to be still and to be quiet and to listen. And I had gotten to a space where I was training myself to do that, and I was doing pretty good. And I was doing really good with, like, getting into some longer meditations and not getting distracted. And, it was a good skill that I was building. And so as I've tried to get back into this morning routine lately, the meditation part has been a whole struggle for me, because I can't, my mind is going everywhere, and I'm thinking about everybody else and everything else. And I just have not been able to manage to just be still. And what I started doing, y'all, so here it is, right? Shameless plug. It's not really shameless at all. It's amazing. It is amazing, because it's a reminder of what a beautiful community that we have here, of what talented people that we have here, and how blessed we are to be in this space. Since my, other go-to meditations and things hadn't been working, I've been jumping to our TFC meditation track. If anybody has that on handy and wants to, like, drop that in the comments for folks, go ahead. Normally that TFC meditation track is something that I would use, like, in the middle of my workday, just something to kind of calm and center me. If I was, like, eating my lunch or doing whatever, just something to give me, some spirit in my day. And that's really what that meditation track is, how I used that, the TFC one. So I decided to start using that in the morning. And one of the reasons is because I'm a little bit familiar of it. So I kind of know when it's getting towards the end of the track. I kind of know the ups and downs and how that track flows. And so it's easier to use for me. So I'm not, because I'm doing it in the morning, I'm constantly worried about my time. Like, oh, am I going to be late to log in for work or whatever. So I started turning on the TFC track in the morning, and I'm making it through, maybe, like, there's probably like 2 minutes of that whole track where I'm, like, actually quiet and not thinking about something else. But it's helped to start even imagining the people in that space. So I kind of have some behind the scenes knowledge of how that track was created. And so I can kind of imagine Mario in the pews, laying down, doing, just I can imagine the whole scene. And so it kind of like helps me to bring into that space. Um, and I'm just going to keep turning it on. I'm just going to keep turning it on every morning until I get it right. And that's not right to say get it right, but until I can, okay, I made it through I made it through 3 minutes of the track this time without my mind going this way or that way or whatever. And just kind of like goal set, change the expectations a little bit each time until I can get to that space where I was before, where I'm still, where I'm silent, where I'm listening, where I'm connecting. And I've also had to learn to change the expectation around what I'm getting out of meditation at this stage for me, because I'm in a different space in my life. I'm in a different circumstance. And the thoughts in my head are heavier than maybe they were when I was building this skill to begin with initially. And so now it really just has to be, it's almost like a retraining. It's almost like going back and taking it back to basics and just saying, all right, step one, pull your thoughts in as you have them, like pull them in. I've probably going to go back to some of our older 2020 content, when we were home and we were doing, Callie was doing different meditations and, these meditation moments and all this, and really get myself back into the space of training. I encourage folks to kind of like go back through and dig in our Facebook and find some of those older meditation videos. Just kind of take myself back to square one, excuse me, because the justifications are not working. They are not serving me. And like I said, I just needed a minute tonight. Maybe somebody out there also needed this reminder that sometimes we got to change the expectation. Sometimes, justification, we have to check ourselves, right? And how do we check in with ourselves? We got to get quiet. We got to get still. So either way it goes, here I am, full circle back. All right, y'all. I think my throat has gotten to its limit. I love you. Thank you for joining me this evening. Like I said, I hope that y'all can kind of ground and check in with yourselves as well. Get back into this meditation, connect, whatever it is you're trying to do, change the expectation, go back to basics if you need to, but just keep going each day. Just keep going. So I love y'all. Please share if you have something that you're trying to do and you want some encouragement, I encourage you to go ahead and share in the comments, and we will support you and love on you in the best way that we can. And I love y'all. So have a good night, TFC.